Da 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 da. Hey, you guys. I know I said we were going to do ears this time, but I forgot an important step. This is a really high poly model, and a lot of computers, including the one I'm recording this on, won't heal with it. So, follow these bouncing balls, as they used to say. Anyway, what I did was Shift D to make a duplicate of this horse. So now I have two high poly models, and this computer would absolutely positively never deal with all of these. So I decided which one I want to be the low poly model, and it doesn't matter. I just didn't want to rename something when I didn't have to. Name this body low and turn the multi-res modifier off. See, now we're back where we were. We've just got, our 8,000 faces, which is not bad, but hey. Now I moved the two directly on top of one another, and I'm giving them different, well, not different enough now that I think of it, but slightly different colors to make it a little easier to see what I was doing. I chose green and blue. I should have chosen red and blue or something. But anyway, make sure you switch to material preview mode so you can see everything, and this is what we've got. So, next step is we need to split our screen. Split the screen, come on. Vertical split. It doesn't matter which way you split it, just split it. Get stuff out of the way. And this I'm going to go to UV editor because we need to start by UV unwrapping this. There's a much better explanation of this process in one of my other videos. But I'm making a new image, and I'm making it really big. The bigger, you can do it with a small image, but it's not going to be real satisfactory. The bigger the image, the more detail you can keep. I'm going to edit mode. I've got my low poly model chosen. I had already UV'd it at some point, but I'm going to do it again. And just use plain old UV unwrap. Now you can't really see anything, but it's there. It has made islands along the seams like a dress pattern. And, you can move them around and make them bigger and smaller and however you like. You don't really need to. Go back to object mode. And now, what am I going to do now? I'm going to make sure I've got body low selected. What are you doing? Oh, make another split. And go to shader editor. This is where you start adding your color and your bump maps and stuff. And the texture I want is an image texture. Put that right there. That goes into the normal node or the normal plugin. Pick your normal map and make sure you do non-color or everything will be really funky. Down at vector, pick normal map and stick that in the middle. Make sure your normal map, make sure the normal map thing is selected, or at least that's what they've told me, and if it isn't, it doesn't really seem to matter. So what you want to do now is you choose the high poly mode and then shift select the low poly mode, or control select if you don't want everything in the middle. Okay, so go into the camera and change it to cycles mode. It isn't baking is what we're doing, and it isn't available in Eevee. We want to bake a normal map. We want to do it selected to active. And you can really give it pretty much any number for this. This puts a limit on how far it can pretend to make things stick out. And click Bake. And it says no valid selected objects. Okay, here we go. So select your high poly and shift select your low poly. So it's high to low and then bake. It's going to say circular dependency for image normal map. I have no idea what that means. It always shows up. It doesn't hurt anything, so there you go. It's gonna take a while. And the slower your computer is, the longer a while it's gonna take. This computer I was using for this when I made the video is a whopping fast computer with a zooming. Here we are. Yeah, it's always going to be lavender with a little bit of blue and a little bit of pink. And it will also have other colors we'll get to in a minute. The good part of this is that now that we have that normal map, we don't need the high poly model anymore. So we can make that go away. Oh, and always save your images. Make the high poly model go away. That one. See, they're pretty much the same. Will you get rid of that? What are you doing? I must have been explaining something to myself, but that's gone now. And see, we're back to our 81,000 polygon model, which is low by me. Now, there's a bunch of really odd little bumps in there, and those are caused by I have no idea what. You can go to Image Editor and select Paint, and you can paint those out, or you can put stuff in. I usually do this. I don't usually do this here. I usually go to Image, Save, Replace. Edit externally, and I edit it in the GIMP. And then after you're finished tweaking that, you bring that back in with Reload Image. But that's pretty much it. I know that was really fast. Hope it helps. Bye-bye.